Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. In this video, I'm going to be talking about what Robert Smith and Oprah Winfrey have in common. I'm going to be talking about what they have in common. Not only are both of them black billionaires, but they are also well known for major charitable contributions to the black community. Now, Robert Smith, he recently paid off debt to I believe close to 400 Morehouse college students. He paid off their student loan debt. So that is a commendable deed that he has done. Okay. Oprah Winfrey, some time ago, she actually opened a school. She spent more than $40 million and opened a school for black students in South Africa. Okay, so that too was very commendable things that they have done for the black community, whether here in America or on the continent. So why am I talking about these two? See, here's the issue with both of them and the problem that we as a people have. We will take what we see as a good deed and we will prop that up as the only thing to be viewed or considered. Okay, what I'm about to say should not take away from the fact that Robert Smith done something good by paying off this debt for these students. I'm pretty sure these students and their parents are overwhelmed with joy at the fact that this man has paid off their student loan debt, because a lot of young people, they enter into life as adults in debt and struggling. So this was commendable. Oprah Winfrey, same thing. Because our people on the continent are constantly going through sufferings and just so many hardships, when Oprah opened this school, these students didn't have to pay to go. Okay, a lot of things that they needed were taken care of. Their clothing, their uniforms, their food, all of this. So she didn't just go open up a school and say, parents, pay me for your kids to go. She actually went up there and set up a good, decent lifestyle for these girls, something better than what they were used to. And so nothing can take away from what she has done for those students. Now, what I really want to talk about is the fact that when people do such deeds, that other so-called black people tend to overlook the damage that a person has done or is doing to the black community overall when they look at the good deeds. Okay, they tend to overlook any damage because we are just driven by money. Someone puts money in your hands, then all of a sudden everything else disappears. What I see as more important to our people than the money that some of our people may donate to improve the lives of some, I see it as more important to improve our lifestyles overall, our thought processes, our spirituality, and our relationships with one another. Okay? There are those who would have you to believe that just because Robert Smith has donated this money to these young men, that we are supposed to ignore the fact that he is married to a former Playboy playmate. Not just a former Playboy playmate, but a white one at that. We are supposed to overlook that now because he has paid off this college debt. Now, what does that say to people who are celebrating this? Okay, what does that say? Well, he's a billionaire. He's married to a whore. And so what's wrong with that? He was able to become a billionaire, and look at what he's doing. We can no longer frown on what he's doing because of the good deed. Okay, now let's go to Oprah. A lot of people commended Oprah. I was one of them, just like I commend this brother for what he's done to these young men. A lot of people commended Oprah for what she did for the girls of South Africa. Okay. And they applauded her contribution, which was a major contribution. But when you look at the overall scope of what Oprah offers to the so-called black community, the one thing that took a huge hit was Oprah presenting this form of spirituality that is very dangerous. She had this guy on her show who created the book and the movie Conversations with God, who's pushing this whole ideology that we ourselves are the gods, that we need to stop worshiping God and be God. So am I supposed to say, well, Oprah built this school so I can just overlook that? That is what's happening. We as a people are so money driven that we are not community driven, nor are we driven towards the upbuilding of our people. You can't upbuild our people if you are doing things that are contrary to that. So basically what it does is it makes our people feel that it's justified to do things that will turn your spirituality away from the Most High, or that will turn your heart away from the Black community, as in Black marriages and relationships, healthy Black marriages and relationships. Robert Smith paying off the debt for these young men, how many of those young men do you think will take a clue from him and say, well, you know what, maybe I will marry me a white woman too, now that I'm successful? Now that I'm not saying that all of them will or that any of them will, but there's a good chance that many of these young men that he's paying off debt for may not even consider marrying a Black woman. And you have brothers who will try to make you believe that there are no good Black women out here, that all of them are ratchet or hood rats or bottom of the barrel hood chicks. That's what a lot of these men would have you to believe, because they may have had one or a few bad experiences with Black men. With Black women. They would have you to believe that they are all scum. And the reverse of that, I don't believe that just because a woman has had a bad experience with one or a few Black men, that all Black men are scum. I don't believe that for a minute, because I am married to a wonderful man who is my best friend. So I believe that I'm more than qualified to speak on this issue, that there are definitely Black men out here to be revered and honored and loved. And I'm raising my sons to be the same way. And I pray that they do not stray off of the path. I pray that they do not stray off of the path, you see. But just because someone does something of the magnitude that Oprah and Robert Smith have done, just because they inject money into a certain segment of the Black community, does not all of a sudden make them heroes that we have to omit what they are doing to damage the Black community. Now, some of you will say, well, how could that damage the Black community with what either of them have done? Well, when there is this perception that those who are powerful, rich, wealthy, and Black go off and do something that is contrary to what is right, or contrary, I'm going to say, to the Most High. See, that's the problem. A lot of Black people do not honor the Most High. They will sit and run and yap their mouths about what somebody is contributing to the Black community, but they omit the Most High, not understanding that He is the giver of life, that He can take away every last bit of your earthly success in the twinkling of an eye. He can snap the breath right out of you. See, I understand that many of us desire to have things, and we look up to others who do have things. But we have to understand that we need to look up to the Most High, that you don't look up to someone just because they have a lot of money. That doesn't make them righteous. That doesn't make them right. It doesn't make them a hero. It doesn't make them a mentor. It doesn't make them someone who needs to be followed and revered. So I'm glad I have this example of a Black man and a Black woman who are both billionaires, who have both contributed something major to a small segment of the Black community. I'm glad I have this example to make the comparison that just because this billionaire man and this billionaire woman has done this good deed, look at the overall scope of what they are contributing to the Black community. Look at the image that they are portraying to the Black community that is negative. Our young Black men do not need to see a wealthy Black man marrying a white whore. I'm sorry, I don't care who doesn't like it. The truth is what it is. And just because you have people who don't understand it, they believe that you are tearing this man down. And some believe that We were tearing Oprah down when we spoke on how she has injected something very, very dark into the Black community with this fake spirituality, with this whole idea that we need to stop worshiping God, as she said, and be God. That is very toxic to a people who are under the chastisement of God. We don't refer to him as God, but I'm saying that for the sake of this video. We refer to him by his name, Yah, you see. But just because Oprah has done this good deed does not cancel out the damage that she has done. Just because Robert Smith has done this good deed does not cancel out the damage he has done. He and Oprah have both made grave mistakes in what they have done and even their rise to the top. We don't know what was behind the rise to the top. I'm not going to sit here and speculate. I've seen others speculate and say that you can't get that type of wealth without being in bed with the devil. I've heard many say that. But where I'm sticking to right now is the fact that these two people, in their rise to the top, they have forgotten something, that righteousness is still required. Now, many of you continue to call me religious. No, I'm not religious. I don't believe in religion. But I do believe in my Creator. I am a part of no religion. I don't believe it. I don't trust it. I believe that it was sent by the devil, not only to divide, but to confuse. I don't deal with any denominations whatsoever. I am of the same belief of our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They were not part of religions either, even though you have religious people trying to plug them in to their religions. So you can miss me with the religious stuff. It has nothing to do with religion. It has something to do with, if my people, which are called by my name, would humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, forgive their sin, and heal their land. Being a billionaire, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're Robert Smith or Oprah Winfrey, does not qualify you as a person that needs to be revered or honored or even trusted to be leaders in the Black community. There are some that have a much smaller voice than both of them that will be better leaders of our people, leading them back to the path of righteousness. I don't care what either of them have done. I'm sorry, but Robert Smith, married to a white playboy whore, should not be overlooked simply because he decided to donate money to pay off college debt. We can applaud him for that. We can commend him for that. But the rest of it, I'm sorry. That is very damaging to the image of the Black family. But you have those who are not even married to the Black family who wants to prop this man up as a hero because he paid off college debt. The Most High, his thoughts are not like our thoughts. His ways are not like our ways. He does not think like we think. We think that money makes you something to the Most High. It only makes you something in the eyes of people. But when you look at the story of the rich man in the Bible, he lifted up his eyes in hell. When you are not right or righteous in the sight of the Most High, your money cannot buy you a seat in heaven. So when we go around idolizing celebrities and wealthy people and people who have status, when we go around idolizing these people, we don't understand something. We don't realize that although you may appear good in the eyes of people, and the reason why I say appear good, because guess what? The minute any type of major scandal comes out on your name, those same people who are revering you are going to run you in the ground. Now, many will think that what I'm doing to Oprah and Robert Smith is tearing them down. There is absolutely nothing I can say or do to tear these two people down. They will probably never even hear what I am saying. Okay, and anything that I'm saying will probably never prick either one of their hearts because they are doing what they are doing. They are doing what they want to do, what feels good to their flesh. This man, Robert Smith, I'm pretty sure he enjoys his whore every night. Okay? Oprah Winfrey, I'm pretty sure she enjoys the fame and the fortune and the limelight that she has produced for herself while telling people that they need to stop worshiping the Most High and be God. How do you think that sits with the Most High? Both of these two people. That doesn't sit well with him. It can sit well with 7 billion people on this planet. But that will never sit well with him. So you can say your little speeches and say all this little stuff about what these people have done because you revere them simply because they're black billionaires and because they've helped small segments of the black community. But the overall damage done to the black community is far beyond any good deed that they have done. I hope I am driving home this point, at least to those who are seeking after righteousness, those who are tired of this chastisement that we are under. This chastisement continues because we as a people continue to uphold those who are doing things contrary to the Most High. We continue to justify people because we look at some good deed that they've done and we totally ignore other things. It is not right and it is not righteous what Robert Smith has done in the eyes of the Most High. If the overall effect on young black minds, especially the minds of young black males, is that it's okay to marry a whore. If you're a billionaire, black woman not good enough, get you a white woman, regardless to what she is, whether she's a former stripper, a former playboy, playmate, whether she's a former streetwalker. I mean, look at O.J. Simpson. He did the same thing. He went to the gutters of the white community and found him a wife. And a lot of brothers are doing that and justifying it. And you come on my channel, you say your little things that you got to say. But it doesn't matter how you feel about my words. At the end of the day, if you don't get your heart right, the Most High will deal with every last one of you. You see, the Most High is purging out the rebels, even our black sisters who continue to think that if they bed down with these men of other nations, thinking that they are entering into some type of queenhood, because this man decides to run up in you, all they are doing is visiting old habits. They have always desired the black woman. They've always desired the black woman. And it doesn't make you any better or greater because a white man decided to sleep with you. I'm sorry, family. But I know the truth is not popular. Most of you cringe when you hear it. You think we should stop talking about it. But as long as our people are being judged and falling into these traps and snares because we as a people as a whole refuse to speak out against these things, I have to say something. And many others are speaking as well because we know the judgments of the Most High and we fear the Most High. And so this is why we must cry aloud, spare not, lift up our voices like trumpets in Zion and show our people their transgressions. That is why we do this, family. We do it because we love you. We don't care what the secular world thinks. We don't care what celebrities think. We don't care what people who are pushing this whole idea that it's okay to marry women of other nations. Anyone who thinks that it's okay to marry women of other nations, I don't care if they're white, Asian, Chinese, which is Asian, Latino, Mexican, Indian, Native American, I don't care what it is. When we decide to marry these people of other nations, we officially lose our voice as those who are trying to unite the black community. My question is this: how the hell can you try to unite the black community when you are not even dealing with or married to the black community? I've often talked about this brother on Facebook. He used to be a part of my group and I was a part of his. This is when I was a Christian too, so this was a long time ago. But he's married to a German woman, but had a group talking about saving black America. And I'm like, you don't even live in America. You live in Germany. You're married to a white woman. You got mixed children, and all of your mixed children marry white people. And so all of your grandchildren look white. You whited yourself out, but you're talking about saving Black America. I question the sincerity of a person who's not even married to a Black person, but yet they are pushing this whole thing that they are for Black people and they are trying to help Black people. No, Black people are simply a market to you. That's all. Just a market. Your heart is not there. Your love is not there. Because if it was, I'm going to cut it off right there. I'm going to let y'all fill in the blanks. I'm talking about those who ain't even married to Black people, but they want to pretend like their heart is with Black people. The Most High sees your heart. You ain't fooling him, okay? But anyway, Black billionaires, Robert Smith, Oprah Winfrey, we commend them for their good deeds, but it does not cancel out what they have done to tarnish the Black family. Okay, I'm out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.